Hey guys, what's going on? If you have not checked out the movie Plandemic, you should. You should. It's really good. Now, I think this is the second part. There was one with an interview with Dr. Judy Mikovits, and I'm gonna name drop. I don't want to name drop, but I actually met her in 2016. I went to the CDC to protest, and she was there, and I just got a chance to tell her thank you. I'm name dropping because I think, if you can meet some of these people in person and tell them that you appreciate what they've done and what they're doing and what they continue to do, it's very, I would like to think it's very meaningful for them. Maybe it might be a little overwhelming, especially if they have a lot of people rushing up to them and wanting to take pictures and stuff and shake their hand. But at the same time, when they do these things, they are so ridiculed and they lose their jobs, or they're getting death threats, their careers, being destroyed or has been destroyed. So these are the real heroes, I believe, that are doing things to, help humanity. These are the real philanthropists and the real humanitarians when they come out and whistleblow. So I was happy that I got a chance to do that. I try and do that. Any doctor or scientist that does that, if I can get a chance to give them a hug or tell them thank you or shake their hand, I'm all about that. So I think she's really sincere. Now I would say that because I'm more of a terrain theorist, I don't agree with her analysis about the certain viruses, but I think that there are different layers of awakeness, or there's different layers of understanding the whole thing. And I'm still learning things. I'm not saying I know everything, but now, kind of getting into exosome theory and understanding Koch's postulates or Koch's postulates. I think it's Koch's. Koch sounds a little, anyway, Robert Koch's postulates, understanding that, understanding terrain theory. Now I have a different perspective on why we get sick and what causes illness and how to heal. And there are people that say, oh, she's pushing an agenda, whatever. I don't think so. I think that, for her to come out and whistleblow with what she knew already, and for the, her going to jail, unjustifiably, was very traumatic. And I think it's another level of trauma to realize that everything that you have studied as a scientist has been based on a lie. So I really try to allow people space for that. I don't think that, it might take her. I think though, because she's a real truth seeker and because she's very sincere, I think that she will eventually get there. But I just can't imagine what that must be like, wanting to be a scientist, and they go through a lot of rigorous studying and training, and it's competitive to get into certain schools, and then once you get into schools, then you have to compete for grants, and it's all this stuff, and a lot of virologists get into virology because they want to study diseases so they can cure people and help people. But that's a whole nother video on why I don't, anyway. But so I allow space for that for people, for a lot of these people. I get frustrated sometimes. Trump just did this thing about plasma therapy, and I'm like, can't they just fucking say that vitamin C fucking cures, illnesses and all these illnesses and stuff? Why does it have to be plasma therapy? Why does it have to be, vaccines? And I guess hydroxychloroquine is okay, but because it is a manufactured drug with other chemicals in it, it has all these side effects. So I personally would take, if I got sick, quote unquote, I personally would prefer the natural approach, the vitamin C. That would be my drug of choice. Now I think hydroxychloroquine may be good for emergency situations when people are sick, or they have lung inflammation, whether it's caused by the virus or whether it's caused by pneumonia or bacterial infection or whatever illness, or maybe smoke a lot, have emphysema, whatever it's caused by. Allegedly, from what I understand, hydroxychloroquine, when you take it, it will reduce inflammation, but it has its own side effects, because I believe from my research, any drug, anything that causes a drastic effect like that has some side effects, because the human body was not meant to heal like that, or it's not even healing it, it's just putting a band-aid on the problem. For instance, I have asthma inhalers, which if in an emergency, I take it, it's a steroid, and steroids are amazing at reducing inflammation really fast, but long-term use causes horrible side effects. So I'm making an effort to wean myself off of that so I'm not dependent on it, but I still use it. Whereas vitamin C, you take that and it clears up a lot of your inflammation, your illness, whatever's ailing you. It doesn't have the side effects like that would. But I think, you know, the hydroxychloroquine should be made legal for people that want it. I think people should have the choice either way, whether you agree with it or not. So anyway, I just want to tangent. But Plandemic is, I think, it's the best movie that I've seen thus far, the best documentary that I've seen thus far that is explaining everything that's going on in a very succinct and entertaining way. And I'm like, that's the movie that I know I've said, I'm like, I'm working on something, but like, that's the movie that I wanted to make in my head, but I don't have the time or the resources to do. But the points that they lay out in the movie are like, it's perfect. To me, it's like the most perfect movie, explaining everything. I think a lot of the information is irrefutable. People, yeah, they can always make excuses, but if you have somebody that is on the fence about what's going on, or maybe even closed-minded, I would say this is the movie. The Indoctrination, Plandemic Indoctrination, made by the same guy who did the long-form interview with Judy Mikovits, and that was getting, censored all over the place. But this one just came out, Plandemic Indoctrination, Mickey Wills, I think, and he just did such a good job. Look at kudos to him, and they're not charging any money for it, and they're allowing other people to upload it to their social media platforms for free. So because they know that it's gonna get censored, so they're just like, put it out, share it. So I've actually uploaded it to my Chute, and I'm gonna put the link down below, and please share it, watch it first, and then figure, who you would like to share it with. It's so well done. I know I keep saying that, but I like this movie so much. I think they just did such a good job. Yeah, I just saw this so watch it and donate to them. I also put a donation, their page where you can go and donate to them in the links, in the description links of the Plandemic video on BitChute. Please donate to them because they're doing this all for free, and they're getting it translated, which I've been saying. I'm like, all this stuff we talk about, it needs to be translated in different languages. I know English is the lingua franca, and it's the go-between language internationally, but I mean, a lot of this information needs to be getting to people that don't have English as a first language too. So they're like, it's fucking on now. It's on, man. It's on. And we have the permission to share this. So even if you can go to their page, if you have a social media platform, you can go to the page in the links that I put in my links. You can download a copy of, you know what? Sorry, I just had a thought. I actually downloaded the London Real copy because for some reason on their page, it doesn't seem like the whole movie is available. It's like parts of the movie. But if you go to London Real, you can download it from his page too, which is, what's his name? David Rose? Anyway. His page, I download the London Real, but you still have permission either way. Either way, you have permission to download it, and then upload it on your platform and share. And I really encourage you to do that because the censorship is like, it's off the chain right now. In a bad way. I usually say off the chain in a good way, but it's off the chain in a just crazy way that is just out of control. I also saw this really good, really inspiring speech in Ireland. Oh, where my Irish people at? All the Irish people in the house. I mean, your people are stepping up, yo. Your people are stepping up. I'm a little bit Irish. My grandmother was half Irish, so, but I'm like, I don't really know anything about Irish in Ireland, but I'm like, they're stepping up. They're not playing. They had such an amazing turnout in Ireland, and they were, I'm going to put that in the links too. really inspiring. And from what I understand now, they've had huge protests in Germany, Italy, I think Spain, where like Germany had like, they said it was 1.3 million people, they estimated in Germany. And you know, the fact checkers, the fake ass fact checkers are like, oh, that was a Black Lives Matter protest. I'm like, in Germany? Really? Really? I mean, I know there are black people in Germany, but really? Like, when I went to Germany last year, there was Antifa was there. I saw black people there, but I didn't really even see black people at the fucking Antifa rally that was there. I mean, maybe there could have been, but I didn't really see any. So, I mean, like millions of people out for Black Lives Matter protests, really? Okay. So, so Germany, they're having a huge one. So I've been talking to friends and we've been trying to figure out like, why is America so behind on this? Out of all the countries in the world, the country that's supposed to have the most open, you know, minded, be the most open-minded and the most progressive, why are we like late to the game? And I'm kind of thinking because everything is so politicized right now that a lot of people don't want to see the truth because it involves their ego and it involves them being wrong about the president. And a lot of people are so brainwashed. Like I was talking in a few videos back about how Trump is being used as a trigger for people, that it just shuts them down emotionally. I mean, these are things that if you have common sense, it doesn't take a doctor or a scientist or a study to prove these things. I mean, like simple things like, as I keep saying, the homeless population is still alive. They weren't social distancing, hand sanitizing. They weren't washing their hands. They don't have sinks, right? You know, why do you go to a restaurant and you have to wear a mask in the lobby, but then you can go sit at a table and you can take your mask off, right? Same thing on the plane. You can take it off when you drink and eat. You know, why do virologists, when they're dealing with deadly viruses that are so fucking deadly, you have to, you know, they wear hazmat suits, but you know, these little paper thin masks are supposed to save us, right? They have sealed doors, okay? The room that they deal with these deadly viruses, they have sealed doors, okay? And they have hazmat suits. But like masks are supposed to save us, you know, just simple things, right? How come only small businesses are being told to shut down, but big businesses can be open? Why, you know, like why? What else? What else is just common sense? Anything that you guys can think of in the comments right below. Something I missed. These common sense. But I believe it's because it's politicized. So I have a friend, she might watch this video, but she was telling me she has a friend that's like in medical field. And she was talking to her and she was just like, yeah, you know, the numbers statistically don't even really cause for a shutdown. And she was just going over statistics, didn't say anything about politics. And she said her friend's demeanor like totally changed, like as if she was possessed. And she was like, well, that's what Trump says. And she just starts going off about Trump. And I'm just like, my friend was just like, I didn't even say anything about that. I'm just talking about like the facts, like according to the CDC, like, you know, stuff like that. But there are a lot of people who don't, like, their common sense, their critical thinking skills are shut off because they've been brainwashed and their ego is in the way, that they can't see the forest for the trees. They can't see simple shit that should make them go, if this was any other situation, I would be questioning this, but they're not, okay? I don't know. But anyway, watch this Plandemic thing, watch this Irish rally that happened in Ireland. If you guys have any more around the world rallies that are happening in large numbers, please post in the comments. I'm looking for them. I'll probably make copies of them too, because they're probably going to try and scrape these off of the internet because they don't want people to, you know, to see that there are other people standing up. And this is the thing too. They want to isolate us. They want us to think that, you know, we're alone in our thoughts. If we think anything outside of the narrative, it's another way of controlling people, right? They don't want people, they're saying that the protest that happened in Germany was a Black Lives Matter protest because they don't want people to know that there are people that have doubts about this just like them, but in large numbers, it's flipping over, you know? So I'm hoping that the US will wake up really soon. You know, I think this election, man, that's going to be the tipping point. Either way, some stuff's going down, whether, you know, Trump wins or loses, some stuff's going down. And then Hillary's testifying in Oh, next week sometime. So I would be surprised if something pops off between now and then, just to distract from her having to testify. We'll see. All right, guys. Please, please, please join my email list. That's the thing I want most. Just join it. I'm like, I haven't sent any emails out yet. I'm going to be selling my class starting this live show, which I'm not sure what day yet, but I'm going to be selling the my Conspiracy Realist course. I just finished the first module, so I'm pre-selling it. People that buy it on the pre-sale will be they won't have to pay full price when the whole course is done. So the first module, I'm gonna release them. I have about 10 modules, so it'd be about, for pre-sale, it'd be about $4 a module, which would be about $40. And for the full price, I'm thinking it's gonna be about $80 for 10 modules. It's an hour, so that's like $8 an hour. You know, I want to do this because I had something in my throat. I was trying to not to make a scene. I want to do this because, you know, I need money to work and make more videos, but I really would like to do more educational vaccine videos, and I really want to offer those for free. But this course would be really good kind of foundation for people that are on the fence, that are kind of just waking up, that are hungry for this information, to explain, like, you know, what the word conspiracy theorist is, why do conspiracies exist, how they do, talking about false flags, talking about compartmentalization, because there's lots of people that when they, you know, I kind of tell them about the plan, they're like, well, everybody can't be in on it. But that, you know, I can explain compartmentalization and how people, you know, can carry out a plan without even knowing that they're carrying out the plan. So these are things that people need to understand and kind of wrap their head around. And once they kind of get these basic concepts in their head, they can look at any situation and kind of, you know, use their critical thinking skills to unravel and figure things out for themselves. So I'm not going to be preaching to people. I'm just going to kind of give them guidelines, give them some place to look, but it's still a course. I think I would say, as a parent, if you want your kid to take it, I would say buy it, watch it first, and then figure out. I'm thinking maybe a 14-year-old can understand this and up. I'm not going to curse. I'm not going to be vulgar in it. I use some comedy clips in it because I lecture and also put clips in it, and I leave links, and I have a booklet to go with it too that I've worked on. So yeah, but I don't know how much longer. I keep saying this every day. I'm not being paranoid, but I see how things are going. I don't know how much longer this channel in particular is going to be up, and they're also blacklisting my backup YouTube channel. So, you know, I think I've been kind of going back and forth, but I think when this channel goes down on YouTube, I'm just going to be done with YouTube. I'm not going to try and revive the channel on YouTube. I have a music channel that I'm going to be building up soon too, but that's just going to be music. So my peeps on the Truth or Talk channel will know about my music channel, but I'm not going to talk about the truth or stuff in your face. I'll talk about through music, but not as directly as I am on the music channel, if that makes sense. So you guys, it'd be a secret that I'm a conspiracy realist, right? If you guys know about the music, but the people that I'm doing the music for, if they happen to find out I'm a conspiracy realist, that's okay, but I'm not going to be talking about that on that channel, if that makes sense. So I'm just trying to keep the two separate. But I'm still going to be on other platforms, alternative media platforms, as Truth or Talk. So yeah, lots of stuff in the works. Really excited. Yeah, so I will join my email list, join my backup channels, PayPal, P.O. Box, all that stuff is going to be in the links. Look at the Plandemic movie, share it. Look at the the protests that happened in Ireland. Be inspired. To me, I thought it was very inspiring. I was like, Irish people are not playing, dude. They are not playing, okay? I always knew the Irish people, the black people, the white race. I always say that the Irish and the Scots. I always say like the Scots are like the Mexican people, the white race, but I think the Irish people are definitely the black people, the white race. Anyway, that's it. I'll talk to you later. Peace, truth, love. Bye-bye. Mwah.